Hey everybody, it's Missy again, bringing you another layout for Citrus Twist kits. And I'm using the sketch for this Sunday, and there it is. And I'm using the May main kit for this. And I'm going to have these two really cute color photos of my daughter on my page today. And I try to follow the sketch pretty closely. I've pulled out this really pretty blue Dear Lizzie paper and the white cardstock, and I'm going to use the blue as the back border, I guess you could say, and the white is going to be where I do most of the layering and adding pattern papers and some mixed media. So I just want to measure with my T-square ruler here and make sure that I have it nice and straight, and I'm going to tape it down and then slice off the excess cardstock. And I need a new blade for my trimmer because it's starting to, I can tell it's getting dull. It's not cutting very cleanly. So I don't want to waste this paper that I'm not using, so I'm going to cut it out so I can still use the inside of that blue paper. It's a very pretty shade of blue. And now I'm going to come in with some yellow. This is from the Maggie Holmes Bloom collection. And I want this to be a bright, summery type color layout since I do have some outdoor water pictures here, and whenever I see pool pictures or water pictures, I just think bright colors, and that's bright turquoise and yellow and pink, and it just makes me happy to scrap summer pictures because I get to use my favorite colors. So this paper is from the Paige Evans Fancy Free collection, Pink Paisley, and you just have to cut these squares up and use them for something. At least I did. So I decided to just cut a couple of the squares in the colors that I wanted, and I'm just going to use them for accents. And I'm just cutting some of these squares in half and using pieces of them as little layers of color. And they're going to peek out from the left and down at the bottom as well. And they're not perfectly straight over on the left because I'm going to get messy here in a minute and it's going to look totally different than it looks now. This kit is full of bright colors, lots of fun patterns, and you know, you could do a lot of different types of projects with these, not just summer pictures, but I was inspired first to create a summer page, so that's what I'm doing here. Now you also get this awesome ephemera pack from the Pink Paisley Fancy Free as well, and there's a lot of the acetate pieces and actual die cuts. So I'm going to stick all of that stuff down, and then I'm going to start to jazz up the background a little bit. This is something I do quite frequently, white gesso with a credit card, and I'm going to smudge it around. I wanted to fade out some of the yellow, enough to where it kind of had some faded white parts, but not enough to where you couldn't completely see it. I like for it to be hazy and just a little bit covered, but you can still see the pattern through it. This is some shimmers from my stash. This is Vibes in Jenny B. Blue and Colorings in See You in the Morning. And these are two colors that I use a lot. And you've got the turquoise color mixed with the teal green color. And they are perfect together, especially if you are scrapbooking pool pictures, because it's the perfect mix of colors to complement water or pool water. In this case, in the pictures I'm using today, it's my daughter's swimsuit that's blue. But anytime there's water in my picture, I feel like I have to mimic the water on the page somehow, and so that's what I'm doing here. Now I'm definitely going to use that frame. It's acetate frame, and it's so pretty. It's watercolor. It's already like that, so you just use it as is. It doesn't need any help because it is beautiful just like it is. And I'm going to use it as a layer. I'm not going to use it as an actual frame. And now my pictures move as one unit because I went ahead and stuck them down to some tissue paper. And now I can just kind of pick them up and test them out to see how everything looks with the pictures in place. I spend a lot of time playing around with all of those die cuts because I wanted to use all of them. You know how that goes when you open up something and you love every single piece, but I had to restrict myself and only use a couple because I did not want to run out. Still have a couple more layouts to make, and so I needed to make sure that I had product left over. Plus, this layout would not look right if I put every single piece on there. I'm going to come in with some thread, and this is a turquoise color. I'm going to add some to the left and the right. And I have to fiddle with it quite frequently because sometimes it just doesn't cooperate. Now I'm coming back to some of the mixed media. I go back and forth. I add it here, I add it there. I let it dry, and I did just a straight stitch around the edge of the white paper, and so it is definitely not going anywhere. And I use that dark blue, or it's not dark blue, it's a darker turquoise, I guess you could say. It matches the colors in this collection. When I hear dark blue, I think navy blue, and it's definitely not navy blue. I added a strip of pattern paper above the photos just to bring in a little more pink. And I believe that was a branding strip from one of the pattern papers. And I like the pop of pink that it gives because I do have some pink on the left and on the bottom. And I am going to incorporate more pink as the layout goes on. So I took some time and just went through some of these embellishments and played around with them to see what I liked where. I decided to cut this tag and just use this portion of it on the right. And this was something that I'd never tried before. I wanted to use this thicker. It's the silver glitter one, and it says play, but I didn't want it to be silver. I wanted it to pop a different color. So I thought, let me take my shimmers here, and it worked okay. It's very light, but it wasn't dark enough. So I just got out my gelato and drew directly onto this glitter thicker and smudged it with my finger, and it turned out so cool. It's basically pink glitter now, and you can still see the glitter from the thicker, did not cover it up, and I love how that turned out. Looks so much better in person. I decided to cut off the little loopy part of the Y, and I decided that I need a little more pink, so I'm going to move it over just a little bit more. I had to double check the sketch, so I decided to move the title over, and then I'm going to come in with a lighter pink, and I think it looks even better. This looks really cool, and I have a close-up of this at the end so you can really see how this looks. So if you have these silver glitter thickers, you could custom color these any color you want with a gelato. I was very impressed. I will definitely do that again. So I come back to the shimmers again. I just consistently come in whenever I feel like some splatters need to be down there. I will do it. I try to get all my mixed media done in the beginning and then add splatters at the end, but you know how that goes. Plans change, and I just kind of do what I think needs to be done at that specific time. I'm going to use this circle Live a Colorful Life over on the right, but it's so white against the white background, it needed some color behind it, so I just punched a couple of circles out of that pattern paper to give it a little bit of a base. So again, I just come in with some of those embellishments. They're so pretty. The colors are so rich. I'm definitely going to be using these on another page, but I wasn't sure at this point, so I just kind of picked things up and placed them down and see what it looked like. Now, I'm going to add some blue. I feel like this Live a Colorful Life's, not sticker, embellishment or die cut on the right, it's got some pink and it's got some yellow, and it was missing some blue, and so that's why I added a little bit of thread under it, just so it's got that extra little pop of blue up there. And plus thread, I just love thread. I think it's fun. It gives it a messy quality, and it also adds a pop of color and texture. So on this sketch, this is where the journaling is. So I just drew a couple lines, and I'm going to hand write it in about how she loves the water and the water hose. And then on the sketch, underneath the journaling, there is a little image of a flower. And you know, you don't have to do every single thing that the sketch has, but I wanted to add a little flower, and so I fussy cut this from that square. It's very tiny, 2 little flowers and really tiny leaves. And I love how that turned out. I'm glad I did that. And then I decide, okay, I need some blue down here. I've got the pink, I've got some yellow and a little bit of that orangey color. So I take one of the exclusive sequins and just glue it down there. And it looks like a little blue flower. I glue down this circle, and then I love, love, love this acetate heart. So pretty. It needs a pop of blue though, so I add a little sequin there. And then I decide to add a couple more sequins around the page. The sequins are so pretty. The colors are so different. There's a couple of different shades of blue, pretty green, and that corally pink color. And they're different sizes also. I'm really loving how this is coming together. I love the colors. I know I say that so many times, but I really don't think I could ever get sick of working with aqua, yellow, and pink. They just look so pretty together almost all the time, and it just comes natural for me to work with those colors. I don't know why. I love all the colors, but these seem to be the ones that I go for the most. And I don't even think about it at the time, but when I'm watching my video and doing the voiceover like I am now, I realize, oh, this is another layout with those 3 colors. And that's okay. You know, there's no right or wrong way. So I'm going to add a little bit more pink, and this is more of my shimmers, and I just splatter it down. And then I decided to do a little small cluster down here at the bottom, and I just decided to cut that acetate paint strip piece with the 3 colors. I just cut the pink off, and then I'm going to layer in this happy die cut here in a minute. But I wasn't sure what looked right at the time, so I had to play with everything. But I like the way that looks. I like the pop of yellow and the pop of pink together. And plus I love mixing and matching all those embellishments. The see-through embellishments with the regular die cuts are so fun. And a lot of companies are doing that lately in their ephemera packs. You get a lot of the see-through transparent elements, and then you get the regular die cuts. And so to add a little pop of blue, I add a couple of those little sequins again. And that's going to wrap it up. I forgot to add the date before I took the picture, but I did add the date. So I hope you enjoyed this. It was lots of fun to make. I hope you check out the sketch and take part in this week's sketch. Oh, there's the close-up of that glitter thicker. I love how that turned out. I hope you try that. Customize it any color you want. Just use your gelatos and smudge it with your finger, and there you go. Make sure you check out citrustwistkits.com. Lots of pretty things in this month's kit. And thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. I hope you have a great day.